When we're working with the state societies, I think we need to kind of preface it by saying that there's two Dale Kooyengas. There's the campaign Dale Kooyenga and there's state rep Dale Kooyenga. And so those are kind of two different conversations. But let me start off with the state rep side. My relationship with Dennis and his team is very strong. We have each other's, well, we have each other's cell phones as of this weekend. We know how to contact each other, and there will be bills that come up that I rely upon the WICPA for their input on a couple different fronts. First of all, there's some very technical tax issues that are specific in nature, and my state society is able to put me in touch with the subject matter experts on those issues that are actually practicing it with, and get me in contact with them, and we have a conversation, and then I get to go to my caucus and own it, like I'm the guy, you know? I'm like, man, that guy's sharp. Well, you just listen to the right people, and also you get labeled as sharp. And say, hey, I want you on this bill. They have to do a specific ask. Representative Smith, I want you on this bill, and if you're not on it, why not? I'm always thinking of how can I engage my state society to educate the public, and the other side of that is they're there to educate me, because we all know in accounting it's become so specific. And we've become a very specialized profession where if you're a CPA and know everything, you are not, you don't know nothing, because the profession has become that complicated. I think the auditing background, bringing that professional skepticism is what's been really welcome. And sometimes it's frustrating. So we actually had a bill that increased the scope of Medicaid, and the fiscal note on that said that it was zero cost because of efficiencies that would be inherent. And what it did was called family care, which would actually take, the care would come to your home and care for you in your home, as opposed to in a setting for whatever the issue would be. And I'm totally sympathetic to that. I understand, but we already a high tax state, and we have other priorities in the budget as well, like education. And so I said, this is going to have a huge cost to it. And I know the fiscal note doesn't represent that, but you got to look in 30 pages back in the assumptions, and in the assumptions it says these assumptions, and these assumptions are bad assumptions that the legislators told them to put in there to get the note that they wanted on that. And we stood up, and it was tough because in that case I was one of 11. The bill passed 88 to 11, and I was one of 11 that voted against a very difficult bill. But then the news came out the other day that the price tag on this is they're $450 million over budget already, and the fiscal note came back with zero. And it's an I told you so I don't want, but it's something that with an auditor background for 10 years at KPMG, bring that professional skepticism into it and be like, you gotta have professional skepticism. And the lack of professional skepticism from our politicians has put us in a really tight spot. The CPA is one of the most trusted brands in the country. It is a very trusted brand, and politically that's golden. I just had one of the guys that ran against me. I outworked him. I think it was, he didn't want to admit I outworked him as well, but he just shook his head and said, I just couldn't compete with a Army officer and CPA. That's like the two most trusted things in the world. You didn't have to do any work at all to put that out there. But we have this intangible integrity, and I think we need to use it for good accomplishments that make our states more financially solvent.